Hi guys, how you doing? So another little kind of catch-up video for you guys. So it's been quite a busy week ever since I got back from Malaga. I've been just busy trying to get bits and pieces done at home, trying to keep on top of all the various different things that I've got to get on with. So when I got back home from Malaga, I ended up just kind of getting I got a bit of a new sense of energy, trying to kind of make sure that I'm doing everything at home, making sure that I'm actually spending a bit of time at home and not just kind of working the whole time, which is very easy to do. So yeah, I ended up kind of getting home, cracking on with loads of bits and pieces, kind of got the house up straight, got a load of bits and pieces that I needed sorted, like paperwork and all that kind of nonsense. And then Friday I had what turned out to be a really successful shoot with Sophie Austin at Rip Gym. I have to be very thankful for the guys at Rip Gym. They really do kind of help allow me to shoot in their gym and to just kind of keep going up there and making content, and they seem happy with it. Also did some shots for them as well, for some of their clothing and so on, so it's all working out pretty smoothly and pretty well. On the social media side of things, I've got a massive boost of followers, which was amazing, so thank you to anyone that's just started following me and kind of been commenting and liking on my work. It's quite a nice feeling to have. Thank you for Sophie for sharing my name out so often. But I wanted to kind of talk today about like opportunities. I have always been someone that kind of believes that if you push and open yourself up to being able to have these type of opportunities, that they'll come. I meet so many people who don't see those opportunities and don't kind of have the mindset that they'll happen, and then they never do, and then they kind of look at me and go, well, you're just lucky. And I like kind of, it bugs me when people say I'm lucky. I'm fortunate, I'm incredibly fortunate to get the opportunities that I do get, but I also think it's got something to do with the fact that I actually go and believe that can happen. It's kind of persisting with everything and going through the system of going through all the hard work of learning how to be a photographer, how to direct models, how to light them properly. I still don't get it right all the time, I still make mistakes. For every 400 or 500 photos that I take of a client, they normally pick 20 of their best ones, then bring that down to 10. You don't see 390 odd images. Quite a lot of the time there's 5 or 6 of the same image, so obviously that's kind of understandable, but these opportunities only really come around because of the fact that I generally try and push for them to happen and make them happen. And when you try and push for those opportunities to happen, people see that you're willing and prepared to do stuff, so it kind of entices people to think. And if you've got that mindset where where you actually want to go and do cool things in life and actually make the most of opportunities that we've got, people are like-minded that have got money to spend, are interested in investing in your services and stuff, they'll look at that as an opportunity. I post a lot of stuff on Instagram, as most of you will know, and I get all sorts of people messaging me about my work. I've had people in America, people in Brazil, I've had a couple of people in like India and stuff like that asking me questions about my work, how I do certain things, how I make it happen. And it's really only when I start thinking about just what that actually means. You're talking about people that would never have met you if I hadn't have gone and persisted with what I'm doing, putting my passion into it, spending so much time and effort. And then they're asking you questions about how I set things up to make things happen. I realise that people are like thousands of miles away, not just 5 minutes around the corner, thousands of miles away, and simply through maybe a hashtag or, I don't know, tagging someone that they followed already, they've managed to then see my work, which has then led them to kind of inquire a bit more about it, look into it, see what they like about it. And I think a lot of the people out there that have that mindset and look at opportunities see that they can depict those little things and add them to what they're doing. And that's what I do with everyone else. I've worked with so many people on the golf tour, And you know, I've always been younger than literally, I'd say 90% of the people that I've gone away with. I've always ended up being younger than all of them, and yet I'm the one that's in charge of things. You know, I'm the one that's organising it and planning all of it. So I've always had to learn how to kind of deal with people in that sense, and how to take the best things from all those people that I've worked with. Some people are very well organised, and it's something that I've really tried to learn as much as I can about. Some people are, you know, like some people are very laid back and kind of just always see that everything's going to be all right. And for me to learn about that and actually practice more with that kind of just everything will be all right. Oh, it's just got bright. Sorry, the sun's literally just come out across the trees. So yes, you know, I've worked with a massive array of people, and it's oh, hello, getting very bright. Never going to complain about the sun being out. You know, like I get to work with such a variety of people, and it's only because of me questioning and asking things that have led me to have other opportunities, and through those other opportunities have led other opportunities, and suddenly I've gone from picking my camera up. A friend of mine contacted me saying, would you mind coming and assisting me at a wedding? I need another photographer just to get a few other angles. And I was like, you know what, I haven't done it in a while, be good to see him. One thing led to another. 3 years down the line, I've just left my job, which I wasn't on bad money. I literally travelled around Europe for 6-7 months of the year. I work in amazing venues, and you know, I was living a relatively good lifestyle. I was away from home a lot, but it was only because I took that opportunity to actually go and do the photo shoot and help at the wedding that came around, and this opportunity came about. It just so happens that, and I know she'll see this, and in some ways I want it to be quite a nice thing for her as well. I've just been booked, my first year of self-employed photography, I've just been booked to go to Dubai for a whole week, not just a day here, a whole week to go and photograph some fitness and some golf photos for, I won't go saying her name, I'll keep everything quiet. I don't want to go shouting and raving about it, just because, well, as much as she's an absolutely incredible person. Let's put it this way, right, I'll just cut to the chase of everything. So the woman who has booked me to go out to Dubai, she has come through cancer twice. She's what sounds like to be an absolutely incredible woman, and she has just had to really battle to be able to keep herself fit and healthy and still look good and still kind of, you know, live life, do everything, look after her house. You know, husband, son, I don't know the whole family details, I don't know what else is there to, I haven't really delved into it too much, and she'd been following my work for a while. She saw that I had a golf symbol on my Instagram. I've taken golf photos before, and it's also, I work on the golf, so I kind of put it on there. She put two and two together. She wants to get her husband some amazing golf photos, do something unique, and you know, something that he hasn't done before. He used to be a like kind of semi-pro golfer, and I think he had an injury or something like that, and it's forced him to stop. And now, by the sounds of it, he's a very busy businessman. They live in a place in Dubai, right next to the golf course, and she would like me to go out there and take some photos of them. You know, her doing her fitness thing on the beach, him playing golf. We're going to take some pictures of their boy as well, by the swimming pool and everything like that. All these opportunities have come from me making opportunities happen. I paid out my own pocket to go to Spain, to go and shoot some BMX bits and pieces, to shoot some fitness people, meet people that I never would have met before unless I just tried and actually pushed for it. The Rita, the girl I met in Spain, I literally met through Instagram. Never met her before. We spoke. She didn't actually talk any English, or very little. She literally could type English and understand it, but not talk it. And that came about out of me just searching through Instagram. I searched gyms, found people that were tagged in certain gyms, looked through email, like message a few, DM a few people, and one thing led to another, and suddenly I got booked to, you know, I was actually out with her in Malaga doing some photos, and you know, one thing led to another. I then got requests from a brand that she actually does some advertising with to use my photos on their Instagram page. You know, and it's not like I charge fortunes and fortunes for my work, but they were happy to pay to use some of the pictures to actually advertise their brand. It's all opportunities. It's all contacts. It's all meeting new people, and just seeing what you can make happen. I've got no idea what's going to happen, and I suppose you could say I'm fortunate to still have the golf work that I'm going to go and do next year, which, fingers crossed, as long as it all comes off, it could all change very quickly. I'm fully aware that, you know, something really, really bad could happen and suddenly I'm no longer doing any of that and I need to find other work to pay the bills and do bits and pieces. But I've always persisted in trying to work hard, trying to do the best I can. Like, we all make mistakes now and again. You know, I make mistakes, so I've never ever hide the fact that I make mistakes. But I still go out there, I still try and do the best I can, still trying to make things happen. And I think that's like so key to actually getting somewhere in a career or profession or just in life. It's, you know, I get so so bogged down when people say to me, oh, I can't do something like, you know, because of my age, or, you know, I don't have the opportunities like you. And I'm just like, it's bullshit. It really is. Like, people, oh, I'm too old to do that. No, you just think you're too old. It's all in your head. You could go out and do it. People, oh, I don't get the opportunity like you. I don't live in the same country. I mean, I'm very, very lucky that so happened that my parents made me and put us in the place where we live now. And you know, I know when they were a lot younger, they didn't have the opportunity, or not say didn't have the opportunities, but didn't have the, you know, the kind of luxuries that they've worked hard to give me. And I'm very aware of that. And I've said to myself that, you know, I want to be able to treat my dad and my mum for all the hard work that they've put into raising me as a son. You know, they've always given me as much as they can. And in some ways, I know that I'm a completely different person to my brother and sister. They are very, very quiet, not very outspoken. Unless you get a few drinks with my brother, then he gets a bit outspoken. But yeah, they're very, very quiet people. My whole family, very, very quiet. And but then me, I just kind of, I started to look at opportunities and started to think, well, why do I actually have to not do something because someone else is possibly doing it or could do it? Or just, you know, looking at excuses or reasons. It's all just crap. It's all stuff you put in your brain. It's all bits that you could actually just look past and make happen. I'm not being funny, you could message 10-15 people on Instagram right now if you're a photographer and you're wanting to get your work out there. You might get 5 replies, let's say. Out of 5 replies, one of them actually wants to book a shoot, or actually not to book a shoot, just to actually do a shoot. You've then started the ball rolling. You do have to obviously get in touch with people. You have to kind of put the persistence in, the hard work of kind of making these things happen. Once you made it happen, you then go out and shoot the photos. Hopefully you get a handful of them right, you get 50% of them right. There's still 50% more than what you would have done if you hadn't have done the shoot, or you hadn't have contacted anyone on Instagram. Then you've then got something to be able to work and share from. I had a guy who I'm sure will probably watch this. He's been taking photos for near enough as long as I've been alive. And he said, I haven't really put anything on social media, I haven't really got anything to share. And when you've been photographing for as long as I've been alive, you must have thousands of photos to be able to share. And I said, even if they're older, or, you know, there's something recent that it's not necessarily your best, you've got to start from somewhere. You've got to actually just go out and do it. If you want to have that social media like kind of presence, and you also want to build a company and a brand, people have to know that you can do something. If you don't then share the fact that you can actually shoot photos, or you can model, or you can shoot video, or you can do whatever, advertising, marketing, whatever it is. If people don't know that you can do it, how on earth are you ever going to get paid to do it? And you've just got to think literally about these things. You just take it simple and just make a way of doing these things. I said to the guys, like, look, you must have thousands and thousands of photos on your hard drive. You must be able to find 100 in there that you're happy with. 100 pictures gives you, oh, it's a bit dark, so I'm just walking past a whole load of geese and birds. One second, let me just go past this lot. We're making loads of noise. Hiya. Look at this. This is what I get to do in my spare time. I'm so happy. So yeah, like I said to him, you must be able to find 100 photos within the thousands of photos that you've taken over the last 30 years. Obviously they're not all going to be digital, some of them will be film or whatever, but I said in the last 2-3 years you must have taken, God, how many photos you must have taken. Oh, having a fight. Live fights here. Don't know if that's animal cruelty or not, I didn't ask them to do it. But look at this, I can't believe this is like, what I mean, look, taking an opportunity, and I'm out here with like an amazing sunset, get to walk around, fresh air, talking to you guys, making people, you know, hopefully believe in themselves and what they can do. I've never ever set out to be one of these like motivational type guys, so I'll go back to what I was saying, but look at these opportunities. Like, generally you have to get out there, make these things happen. It's so weird walking around with a camera, people are walking past, they're all looking at me kind of going, what on earth is this person doing? I couldn't care less, I literally couldn't, because if somebody watches this and they go, wow, he's right, I'm going to go off and do this, I'm going to follow that, that's the best feeling in the world. And I couldn't care about the money, I couldn't care about that side of things. I just want to make a good life and actually like be happy and just do good things. But anyway, so I said to this guy, I was like, look, you've got 100 photos on your, you must have up to 100 good photos on your hard drive. Surely you can take those 100 photos and be able to, you know, separate them out, and you've got 3 whole months worth of advertising material to show about your work, right? Now you might say, oh yeah, but like, it's old stuff, whatever. I said, but you've got to start somewhere. You've now got something, you've got a couple of months worth of bits to be able to share, to post, do whatever. Now you've obviously created something and you'll gain a few followers and people obviously start passing the word around. You can then go out and shoot some more stuff, and you can go and go, well, I didn't necessarily like this, but this is the best what I've got. Now you improve on it. Suddenly as Fitbit, it improves. You share your story with people, you then start to grow a bit of a following. People follow you. Oh, they say, oh, I'm looking for a photographer, I've just started a shoe company and I need someone to take some photos of my shoes. Funny enough, you're the photographer that got yourself in front of them because you shared some photos. I've been booked for weddings off of sports photos, I've been booked for sports photos off of weddings. Literally people will put 2 and 2 together and just go, he can use a camera, she can use a camera, go and do it. And by that you've actually taken a chance and an opportunity to go and start something and make that happen. You then started the ball rolling, then things will start to fall into place. You'll have other problems that come up where you'll need to be somewhere, do something. You know, you'll have business problems to start dealing with if you take it down that route, or if you just want to do it as a portfolio thing to share your work with people. I decided I wanted to try and make some money out of it and run a business. My long-term goal is that 5-10 years down the line, I'd like to see if I can start my own business doing something far, far bigger, something where I make a bit of a difference in the world. I'm completely aware that it's going to take me a long time to learn that and learn the process of business, but I'm going to go through it. I'm just going to go through it and see what happens. It could all fail, and I can do any manual job. I could learn how to. I've driven forklifts in the past. I wouldn't be afraid of driving lorries. I know enough about computers to probably get me by. I've done television work. I've done all sorts of bits and pieces, and there's always jobs out there for just general work. How many of you know how to plug in a TV? You'll probably say, oh, half my family wouldn't have a clue how to connect a computer together. There's always work going on. There's always bits happening. There's always work out there. So you'd always find something to be able to get you by, get you money, whatever. But just by taking these opportunities that come, and you make opportunities come, you can then make work move forward and make work happen. I don't think that necessarily like I've got everything down to a T. There's a lot of my work that I'm trying to improve for the sake of actually just making a better end product. But that's not to say that my product right now isn't better than a large percentage of other amateurs who are out there. Some people aren't interested in doing it as a business but are very, very good photographers. I wish I had half their talent. Like, you know, some of the best photographers don't do it as a business, they just enjoy doing it because they don't want to be running their own business, they just enjoy taking photos. It doesn't matter, like if that's what you want to do, go for it, do it. You can then get the joy of doing everything. It is a different ball game when you suddenly got a client asking you to shoot photos and you're thrown into a situation where you're not used to doing it, or you know, the situation isn't really what you perceived it to be and it's all changed and you suddenly got to work out a plan to make it happen. But business people like solving solutions. The quickest and easiest solution makes them the best business people. Having an eye for photography, having an eye for photos and being able to know how to position people, move stuff around, is all part and parcel of learning the trade and learning everything like that. So you've got to get out there, you've got to go and fail, you've got to go and make mistakes, learn. Once you've learned, you then move forward, and everything keeps moving forward, and all the time you keep moving forward, you can at least turn around and look back and go, at least compared to where I was 5-10 years ago. I mean, 5-10 years ago I was just kind of cracking into the BMX photography. I literally got into the BMX photography by sending an email to the owner of the magazine saying I've shot some photos of someone, a couple of riders who were fairly well known. I went to a competition and just kind of, well, it wasn't a competition, it was like one of these overnight jams is what they call it, where people just turned up and rode, and it was like all through the night. It was wicked, got loads of good photos. I was up till like 4 o'clock in the morning. Then drove home, emailed the magazine. They were like, look, you know, it's winter at the moment, nobody really wants to see pictures inside of a skate park. There is a guy local to you who is very good, we'd like to get some photos. We'd like to get some photos of him. Do you fancy organising something with him? I got in contact with him. I actually knew him already, so I kind of messaged him saying, look, they're interested in putting a photo of you in the magazine. Should we make something happen? And I did. We went out, we shot a photo. The photo came out really well, and I ended up getting paid from it. I literally walked into. You all right, boys? There you go. You'll be on it. Ben Mark Photo. He's I'm their favourite YouTuber, even though they've got no idea who I am. I'm the best man as well. Look at that. Opportunities happening just from walking around the local streets. But oh, you can't make this stuff up. But yeah, that's literally how I ended up started in the kind of business of the photography, and kind of you know, making stuff happen is just by just going out there and doing it first, not expecting people to come to me just because I bought a camera. I bought a camera, I went and learnt how to use it, I tested, I tried, I failed, I tested, I tried, and then I started to succeed. Once you start to succeed, you then get a bit of a method going. Now, that method of succeeding over the years has changed massively. The BMX industry isn't what it used to be. I used to get paid relatively well out of the BMX stuff, although I didn't do it consistently because I was in and out of the country all the time. But things change. I then put my camera down for a little bit. I stopped using it for about 18 months, got back into it again, and got into doing a bit of weddings. And I think everyone, when they first get back into it, kind of dabble in a few different bits and pieces, unless they are very business savvy and kind of go, right, I'm just going to go for one like kind of niche in the world. But going back to the whole kind of point of all of this is like, people see opportunities as one thing, you're either given them or you make them. People who sit there and think they're going to be given opportunities often don't get them. People who don't expect to get opportunities but want to get them, they'll find a way. Or no, sorry, I think I messed that up. I always wanted to have the opportunities to do these type of things. I never would have said to you within the first 3 years of running, like first, you know, like I've been doing the photography for a little while, as most of you all know. I never would have said to you that I would have had the opportunity to shoot at Caterham for a week. Fortunately, it didn't really come to anything, but it was another opportunity. I tried. I got some good pictures, what I thought, but who knows, it could lead to something in the future. I shot with James Haskell, the England rugby player, for a company called Crazy Catch, and I'm super happy with the photos. That was an event where I wasn't quite, it was horrifically windy. Trying to set my flashes up, and obviously most of you know I like to shoot with flash guns, so trying to set them up was a nightmare. and we kind of had to play it by ear, and that kind of taught me a lot. Not to say that, you know, I still managed to provide the client with a very good service, and after looking at the photos, I think that's just me trying to really, like, I really wanted to do something special with them, but that kind of thing happened. And you know, not to say they were all aware that obviously if the weather wasn't so windy, we probably could have done even more, but that's what happens. But yeah, like, you know, I've now got the opportunity to go to Dubai. Like, I'm being flown, put in a hotel to go to Dubai to shoot some photos of someone. That in itself as an opportunity was something that I never necessarily thought would ever happen. I never thought when I started at the television company that I'd be 9 years, 10 years this year, of travelling around Europe installing TVs on the PGA Golf Tour. It is installing TVs, you could say, well, it's not that difficult. You try spending 5-6 months away when you've got family and friends around you, you know, especially with Jada as well, like my fiance, we don't get to spend a hell of a lot of time with each other, and it's definitely a massive challenge. But it's a challenge that I want to look back, and I want people to look back, and when they see what I've done and where I've been and how my business and journey's changed, they can say, like, at least I persisted with it, and I didn't just give up because of a very small reason. If I suddenly became very, very financially unsafe and, like, you know, we couldn't afford to do bits and pieces, I'd find another job. I'd find something else to pay the bills and to make things happen. But while I've got the opportunity to go and push the photography and go and push it as far as I can, learn as much as I can, and trying to provide the best service I can, I'm going to persist with it, and I'm going to give it my all. It really does bug me when people come up with too many excuses. If they come up with too many excuses, I've become very comfortable in saying to them, do never ever go into your own business. You may want to do it, but you come up with too many excuses to actually make this happen. There's always this, there's always that. If you want to do something, go do it. Put your all into it. You're going to fail, you're going to make mistakes. You speak to any big business owner in the world, ask them how many times they've failed, how much money they've wasted, how many opportunities they've had to slip by because they just made mistakes with things. They'll all be able to tell you, just, you know, they'll all say to you they've made mistakes, but they've also done a lot of things right because they just persisted, and they kind of learn, and they grow, and they grow, and then they grow. So yeah, I really just want to make sure that people they listen to this, and not just me. Like, I as I said, I'm not some, like, kind of motivational guru, but I've always been about pushing people. Like, I was the captain of my football team, like, years and years ago. It was only because I just had that drive to want to win and actually do good things. It wasn't the fact that I was the most skillful, but it was because I had that drive to want to do the best things and want to get the best results. I didn't always make the best decisions, and I didn't always do the best things, but at the same time I still did it, and that was what my old manager used to see in me, and that was why I was a club captain for however many years, 5-6 years that I was playing. So, you know, I just want people to actually think about, if they want to follow a dream, they want to follow something that they, you know, deeply passionate about, whatever it is. You could be into knitting, you could be into laying bricks, it could be, you know, you're a photographer, videographer, you could be a model. I really don't care what you actually want to go and do. It's just important that if you're going to do it, you make the decision and you actually go with it. Give it your all. Don't just go 5 minutes in, oh, I haven't been booked. Like, this month I've literally had 2 days work, but I was aware that was going to happen because it's January. Not many people have got money to spend on a photo shoot unless it's like a necessity. Like, you know, some people have got certain reasons to actually doing photos regularly, but I was aware that, like, especially with the fitness world, everyone's just come back after Christmas. No, like, there's not many people that are in good shape. The ones that are in good shape, you know, they pre-planned that this was what they were going to do and this was how they were going to do it, and that's why they've done it. So I knew all along, but so far, after we come back from travelling, April, May, June, I've already had bookings for shoots. I've already had requests to kind of do more bits and pieces, like, oh, I've got some filming work that needs to be done. The filming work came about because I bought a video camera because I wanted a better video camera and not just be able to shoot everything on the same camera because it just got confusing. Constantly trying to change settings. I wanted to be able to pick one camera up, film with it, pick my other camera up, take photos with it. I did that. As some of you may have seen, I'm going to link after this, the video I did with Sophie recently in the gym. I know I could do stuff and I know I've got the vision for it. I've just got to learn the rights, the wrongs, make mistakes, learn from it, and in 2-3 years time I'll be creating an even better product than I was before. And that's purely just because I decided that's what I was going to do. I didn't necessarily have the money to do it, but I believed that I could do it. I made the investment, and already I've been booked for work that's going to more than pay back for what that camera cost me. And I've got another opportunity. I literally won't let people tell me that I'm lucky. There's a few people that regularly tell me I'm lucky, and I think they kind of belittle me. I think that they kind of see me as not a hard-working guy who's just managed to talk my way into things. There is plenty of people out there that manage to talk their way in and do a very terrible job at things and get renowned for not doing a very good job. I've had people ask to come back and do photo shoots. I've had people book me again and again. You know, I don't always share absolutely everything. I try and share kind of a reasonable amount of things, but you know, people are booking me months in advance to do bits and pieces. Just, if you're going to go do something, do it. Commit to it. Push hard, learn hard. You're going to fail, accept it. As soon as you accept it, you take the pressure off, and then just go out and try your hardest. That, you know, we've never lived in such a, like, you know, the whole country has never been in, or the whole world's never been in a position where you can contact people within a second over in another country somewhere miles and miles away to organise something and make something happen. You know, as long as you're not someone who's trying to do the wrong things, and you know, you could easily take yourself down that path of, you know, not easily, but you know, someone that's wanting to do that type of thing could easily go and make something like that happen. And obviously that's the kind of, I suppose, bad side of these things. But it's never been so easy to make contacts in other countries, in companies before. Like, you know, you've had to write to them and send your photos in. Now they can literally click on your Instagram account and see your images there and then, within seconds. They can see your top 9 images and go, yeah, I like this person, or I don't. You know, I'm aware that there's a lot of people that don't like my stuff. That's okay. I wouldn't expect everyone to like all my stuff. I also don't like everyone else's stuff. I like quite a large selection of people's things, but I don't necessarily like absolutely everything. But that's just part and parcel of life. And you know, you just got, as long as you accept that and you kind of follow it and you kind of just believe in yourself, you will actually make these opportunities. Go on, lads. Kids away. But as I say, you know, you can make opportunities happen. Yeah, so these lads are obviously trying to be a bit funny over here. But hey ho, let them get on with it. But yes, so look, I'm going to finish it here because these kids are just going to keep rabbiting on, and I don't really want to ruin what I've just spoken about, because this is all in one take and it's 33 minutes of me talking. If you haven't got bored and you've listened the whole way through, thank you very much. But yes, please follow what you're doing. If you've got a passion, go for it. You only live once, make the most of it. And just think, if you feel like you're really down in the dirt, if you feel like you're not getting anywhere, you could be drinking out of a muddy puddle somewhere with no food, no shelter. You live in the UK. Most of you people, if you're watching this on YouTube, you're not doing too bad to yourself. You know, just get your head out of it, go and follow what you want to do, and make it happen. Right, thank you very much for your time. If you like what I'm saying, so hit the subscribe button. And obviously, if you want to see any of my work, go on Instagram, search for me @BenMarkPhoto.